And I got to get your take on this election because I know that you and I have never seen anything like this. But just one story today. Trump using $258,000 from his fake charity to settle his legal bills. How
Yeah.
is that? I mean, there are, of course, 16 things that should have disqualified him by now. But so his charity, he gets money from other people that are presumably supposed to go to charity. Well, it turns out this is just one story today that he used, what, a
Right.
$250,000 of that to pay his legal
Right.
bills.
It's an interesting thing. What Trump has mastered, Stephanie, is he's mastered the fact that the corporate media has the attention span of a fruit fly. And so
Right.
what they do is, okay, today he comes out with this story. They all gather up on that story. There's no follow through. There's no backstory to it. There's no, let's look at this, because by tomorrow, there'll be another absurd story and they'll move to that. He has mastered this process. And look, can you even remember, Stephanie? I literally, I can't even remember the first crazy story about Trump. And it was outrageous, I'm sure, but the media moved away from it because day after day there was a new story, and the idiots that are in corporate media just followed it. Yeah,
Right.
let's follow like a
No,
breadcrumb
that's been
trail.
my main. I just it's not even a word. Frustration doesn't cover it. That how the you're exactly right. How the mainstream media has equalized this. Like both sides, they're so attached to both sides do it, and oh, these candidates are the same really, and oh, it's nobody likes either of them, and this and that. You're just like, I mean, you're right. There are at least 20 things that should have been disqualifying. I was saying Friday when he issued basically his second death threat to Hillary Clinton. Right? You're going, what? And do you even hear them? Because that was 3 days ago, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I can't even remember the first one because 3 days later, it's another crazy story, like the one you're talking about, $250,000 charity money that he uses to pay legal bills. By tomorrow, it'll be something equally as crazy.
Right.
Here's what the media loves about it. They want a race. They want
Right.
they want to sell ads, and they can sell space on TV if they can create a race, and they're creating this race between Hillary and Trump, and it shouldn't even be a race, frankly.
Right. Right. And what about? I mean, look at the Newsweek piece. I mean, all his foreign ties.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's going to get away with not releasing his tax returns, right?
Oh, you won't see the tax returns at all. One of my partners the other day said, he's been in politics forever, he's brilliant, Fred Levin, he's a brilliant character. He said to me, well, did you see the CNN story where they compared Trump and Hillary? I said, yeah, I saw it. But the truth is, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make any difference to these people that are attracted to Trump. Look, it's all about race. It's all about they're terrified people. Conservatives, by their nature, are afraid of every damn thing.
Right.
So they're afraid of immigrants. They're afraid of Muslims. They're afraid of terrorists. Every time we have an incident like we saw in New York a couple of days ago, Trump's stock goes up. I bet he picked up 200,000 votes because of that. Because conservatives, by their nature, and their wives are terrified of everything. And so Trump, if you don't believe he has a chance, I'd have to argue with you. I think he's got a big chance here.
Yeah, well, that is, you know what? No wonder you're good at writing thrillers because that is terrifying, Mike Papantonio.
It is to me, yeah.
I feel like the guy running on the cover of your new book, Law and Disorder. It is. I mean, well, as you know, I mean, my dad ran with Goldwater, and I don't. Do you think it's a shock that George Bush Sr. is going to vote for Hillary? I don't.
No, he's a realist.
Yeah.
Can you imagine you and I probably agreeing on the fact I would love to have George Bush again. I would love to have Goldwater again. I would feel so much better than what we're faced with here. We're faced with the possibility that Trump can win this election.
Yeah.
And the progressives just can't get excited about Hillary at all. She's trying. She can't get him moved. And it's because of a lot of factors that she didn't bring to the table as much as Obama, frankly.
Yeah, well, I hopefully, as you know, we normally don't vote on fear, but if you have to vote on white knuckle fear, just do it. Do it. Hillary or Orange Hitler. Those are your choices.
Except like World War II pilots who don't get shot down.
Yeah.